Hi, in this video I'm going to explain you about my data mining individual project. For this project I have taken a data set from the UCI data repository, which is an income data set, and it classifies the income into below 50k and above 50k. And I have imported my data set using the file import node here. As you can see in the properties, I have given the path of my CSV file where my data contains, and I have also edited some of its variables, basically defining which variables are my output variables and which variables are my input variables. In my input variables, there are three different types of input variables. One is interval, nominal, and binary, and I have defined them accordingly. And after that, I'm going to explore my data, and this is where my first concept comes, where it defines that it's important to explore the data before passing the data into the model for training it. And we have to explore the data to identify which independent variable has the highest influence on the dependent variable. And so when we see the stat explore results, we would be identifying that uh, as you can see here, my relationship variable has the highest worth, which means that it has the highest correlation with the income variable, which is my dependent variable. So this is the most influencing variable in my data set. And after that, my second concept comes, which defines why we need to partition the data. We need to partition the data because we cannot use the same data for training and testing the model. If we use the same data for training and testing the model, then we would be getting good accuracy results, but our data will be only fit for our training data, since the training and testing data is same. And if a new data set comes, then our accuracy results go down uh, will go down completely. So to avoid that problem, we need to use different data set for training and testing purposes. And for the same reason, we have used a data partitioning node, in which you can see here that I'm splitting the data into train, validation, and test in these ratios. And after that, I am going to use a control point, which gives me control to different number of models that I want to run. And and in in this for this project, I am using the neural network model, and this is where my third concept comes. Neural network model basically has three layers: input, hidden layer, and output layer. In the input layer, we are going to pass the input data, and in the hidden layer, it is going to calculate the weighted sum of inputs, and it is going to pass that weighted sum into a transfer function, which gives us the output. And in this neural network, we can alter different parameters in the network and optimization. We can alter the training technique which we want to use for this neural network model. In the class, the backpropagation technique has been taught, which basically says that we need to correct our error, and we need to correct our errors for every row of the data that we sent into the model for training it. And depending on the error, we are going to change the weights of our neural network model. And we can also alter the maximum iteration and maximum time. And also in the network, we can alter the number of hidden units our hidden layer should contain. The more the number of units, the more complex our neural network becomes, and it will take a lot of time to compute the results. And after that, my fourth concept comes, which is the model evaluation. In this model evaluation, we need to make sure that we just not only look at the misclassification rate, but we also have to look at the confusion matrix. So as you can see, I'm getting the misclassification rate of 0.14, and I'm getting the best possible weights, which is the global optimum at the 23rd iteration almost. And when we see the true positives and true negatives, we observe that there are a lot of true negatives, but there are very less true positives, which indicates that our dependent variable is skewed. So to avoid that problem, I am going to use the sampling technique, which basically samples the data into equal number of partitions. And for that, I'm going to use a sample method called stratify. And after that, I'm going to use the same process of partitioning the data, and I'm going to apply another model to that sample data. So when we see the results of this When we see the results of this neural network model with the sample data, we see that it's getting the global optimum at the 17th iteration almost, and it has a misclassification rate of 0.16, which is slightly higher, but that's okay. And when we see the confusion matrix here, it is giving us the equal number of true positives and true negatives, which is really good. So when we compare both the models, we can see that the second model with sample data performs better, since it gives good classification rate, good misclassification rate, and also equal number of true positives and true negatives. That means our model is not skewed, and we can confirm the same by seeing the results of the model comparison as well. So my fourth concept basically says that we don't just have to look at the misclassification rate when the dependent variable is skewed, we have to look at the confusion matrix as well. We can also consider that sampling of my data when the dependent variable is skewed is also my fifth concept. So thank you so much.